All right, just gonna jump straight back into where I left off. So this would be part 2 of the episode discussing some ideas and things that I would change about current Disneyland parks and rides and stuff like that. So I was just talking about Rise of the Resistance and Star Wars Land, how I wish it was a conglomerate of just everything Star Wars. So I wish there was like Darth Vader walking around and that he was in the ride. All these sorts of things. Somehow, I mean, yeah, you can only fit so many things into one specific ride, right? Like Rise of the Resistance. I don't know. I think it would have been really creative to, and maybe this is something they're working towards. I have no idea, but I think it would be really cool to even have made some type of way or ride where you can easily consistently switch things out. So you can like replace Kylo Ren with Darth Vader. I know it's probably impossible, but that would be really cool. And just all that to say, it would have been really cool to have, I don't know, for me personally, I think that this is definitely just opinion. I'm not saying this would be better for everybody across the board, but I think the Rise of the Resistance ride, which I guess if they were going to go with the idea I'm about to say, then it wouldn't be called Rise of the Resistance, probably. But I think it would be cool to be based off of, like, one of the other Star Wars movies, like A New Hope. I think that would have been really, really crazy and cool. And yeah, I guess now the wheels are turning in my head about lands and Tomorrowland and Star Wars Land and all that stuff. So maybe I'll make another episode about that soon. Who knows? I have no idea. Doing all of this on a whim. So anyway, back to where we were. I'm going to go ahead and go on to Star Tours, Millennium Falcon, those Star Wars things at Disneyland in California. And by the way, this will probably be, well, I guess once this is posted, you'll see how short this is, but this is going to be kind of just finishing up the last episode. I kind of just ran out of time, so this is kind of just a finishing touch on that one probably, but I think it would have been cool, just an idea, but I think it would have been cool to have the Rise of the Resistance ride, I don't know, somehow be like a mixture of the Millennium Falcon. Like, I guess maybe what I'm trying to say is it would be cool to have the Millennium Falcon place in a way where you walk out of it at the end of the ride, like in a way that you escaped on the Millennium Falcon while riding the Rise of the Resistance ride. I think it would be really cool to, I don't know, do that, combine it somehow, which in that case, of course, you would have to completely change the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run ride, which I'm fine with. I feel like that ride is not really the greatest. It's super fun, of course, really great. I love the ride, but definitely, well, I don't know if I love it. I think now that I've been on it a few times, I think I've been on it 1, 2, 3 times now. And I think it wasn't until this last time that it kind of grew on me, which may have been because of some other circumstances within the context of that situation. But either way, I do enjoy the ride in general. I do like it more now after this third time than I did originally. But I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm just going to throw another idea out there. Like, it would have been really cool too to have the Millennium Falcon ride be pretty much what it is, but also a drop ride. kind of like a mixture of kind of taking what they did on Rise of the Resistance. Spoiler alert. Kind of taking what they did on the drop of Rise of the Resistance and making it into Smuggler's Run mixed with like Tower of Terror, you know. So I think that would have been really cool. So it's kind of like you're writing Tower of Terror mixed with Star Tours, just with like a massive screen in front of you. I don't know. I think something like that would have been pretty epic, which I understand that, you know, that would probably be a ride that's a little bit less for like smaller kids. Littler, don't know if that's a word, but little, smaller kids, younger kids. I was going to say little and younger at the same time. So, yeah, I think that would be less than, or less for the younger kids, if it were that way. But again, another reason why we just need more real estate to build more rides. So I think that would be cool. Okay, here's I know this is getting into that ugly territory of what do you do with Tomorrowland, but there's definitely that conflict between Millennium Falcon and Star Tours. Like, I think there's obviously, I don't know if it's obvious. I feel like it's obvious to some people it's obvious. There's obvious conflict and identity crisis between Tomorrowland and Star Wars Land. There's like a weird conflict of interest there somehow, kind of like creatively, conceptually. And so definitely with Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, and Star Tours, my guess is that, and I literally know nothing, but my guess, just on first look of things, as somebody who knows literally nothing about Disney's plans, my assumption would be that they have secret plans of what they want to do with Tomorrowland, or at least with Star Tours, and I'm guessing that they built the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run ride to completely replace Star Tours at Disneyland. I almost feel like they purposely, this is probably not true at all whatsoever, but personally I feel that the old Star Tours was so much better, like the video or whatever. I felt like that was so much better than the new one that they almost wanted to depopularize Star Tours and have less people ride it, and for it to be lower quality so that they can replace it with Smuggler's Run. I don't know if that's true, but that's just my theory. So yeah, I definitely actually, hang on really quick on Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. What would be super sick, in my opinion, would to actually play the original Star Tours video and somehow have that on Smuggler's Run. That would be so sick. I don't know if there's anyone else out there who loves the original Star Tours, I guess, video more than the new ones, or think it's super cool. Honestly, in my opinion, and again, I'm going to keep saying this, could be a nostalgia thing, but in my opinion, the original Star Tours ride and video is, to me, it feels more realistic than any of the newer ones. I think I've gone on one variation of the new one, of The Adventures Continue, or The Adventure Continues, whatever it's called. I've been on one. It was the last time I went. It was really cool, and it reminded me a lot of the original one, but I completely hate the new light speed. It just makes me sick, like even just motion sickness. And yeah, it's just a completely different thing. So I'm distracted right now, but Star Tours, yes. talking about Star Tours and how, to me, the old video was more realistic, and the light speed feels less effective now. It feels less like light speed, and it also makes me motion sick somehow, or it just like makes me feel sick. It kind of turns my stomach somehow. The last one I went on, the last variation of the new Star Tours I went on just a couple months ago, was cool. It's the one that felt the most like the original one that I've ever gone on, which I've been on probably a handful now. But yeah, it would definitely be cool to see that original Star Wars video, but experience it on the Smuggler's Run Millennium Falcon ride. That would be sick. So I think that's it for Star Wars stuff. Maybe I'll get into Indiana Jones stuff now. Maybe not. I feel like maybe I should just leave that alone. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of broken stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's... well, I shouldn't say there's a whole bunch of stuff that's going under refurbishment, because I don't know what's going under refurbishment, but obviously it's going under a pretty, I guess, lengthy sort of refurbishment, so we don't know what it's going to be, of course, but, yeah, that you know what, I'll save that for a whole other thing, but there are a lot of things missing on that ride. I'll have to think about that one too, what I would change and things like that. And California Adventure. Should I get into that right now? I'm a little distracted because there's some background noise. So I think I'm just going to call it here. But I will return with more on ideas for California Adventure, Indiana Jones, and a lot of other things that I hope that are endless that we can just talk about and share. And it'll be all good. So this was kind of just a filler episode because I ran out of time on the last one, but this is it. This is good stuff. It's been good. Keys of the Kingdom, episode 3. It's a short one, part 2, for just some ideas and things I would change about some current Disney rides. But more to come. Take care, be creative, and peace.